All right, guys, so let's go ahead and start. Simple and compound interest quiz review. All right. So to start off, very simple. You have to know what the simple interest formula is. So simple interest formula. Okay. So the simple interest formula is I equals principal times rate times time. Okay? And make sure you're able to identify all of those components. So I is interest, P is principal, R is rate, T is time. Okay? And likewise, we need to know the compound interest formula. So compound interest formula is A equals P 1 plus R to the T power. And a lot of the values are the same. Okay. With the exception of that A is amount. Okay. Any questions? If I'm going too fast, please let me know. All right, so we have two formulas. You have to know both formulas, okay? You also have to know what each letter means and represents, okay? All right, so the best approach to doing these is basically like to compare, okay? So I'm gonna give you like a practice problem, I guess you can say. Let's use Sergio, okay? So let's say Sergio has $200 that he got for his birthday, okay? Those $200, he says, you know what? I got an Xbox, I got a PS5. I don't need anything right now. I'm gonna wait because I think I'm gonna get a PC, gaming PC. So he's gonna wait a little while. So he says he has two choices. He could invest his money into either a simple interest account, but wants a PC, saving in either account. Okay. So we're going to have two options basically. We're going to do a simple interest account. Okay, and we'll label it simple. And we'll label the other one, we'll do compound. PC, saving in either account. Okay. So we want to basically compare which account would give them the most amount of money, a simple interest account or a compound interest account. Okay. Now, in a question like this, you'll be given some basic information. So we're going to say both accounts And it could be specific to each one, but we're going to say both. And you know what? I won't even write both. I'll just write the info. Rate is 4%, 3.5%. And you know what? Because he just got those video game consoles, he figures they're gonna last him at least 4 or 5 years. We're gonna do 5 years. He's willing to wait 5 years. All right, and that should be it. Okay. So let's start with simple interest, okay? So a simple interest account, remember, I equals principal times rate times time, okay? And if you want to, right down the middle, we can define all of our variables if it'll make it easier for everybody. What's our principal? Our principal right now, here you go, 200. Our rate is 3.5%. But you got to be careful. No, not yet. You got to be careful because 3.5%, this is where everyone messes up. Okay? And I'm going to emphasize this. You cannot use this as a decimal. You cannot use this. I'm sorry. You can't use it as a percentage. You cannot use this as a percentage. You cannot use this as a percentage. You cannot use this as a percentage. You have to change it to a decimal. You will absolutely get everything wrong if you don't change it to a decimal. Okay? So we're going to change it. Just move it 2 places over. 0.035. Okay? Super important, guys. You might know everything, but if you make that mistake, you're going to get everything wrong. Okay? I can't stress that enough. And then time. Time is just 5 years. Okay? Yeah, for the most part, you'll always move 2 places to the left. And a good way to check is like this. What? Okay, this is just a side example, okay? What if you had $100? 5% of $100 is $5. Now convert it. 100, 1, 2. Multiply that in a calculator, and you'll get 5. Okay? Just test it with something you know. But yeah, you're always going to move it to the left. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to our simple interest. So I equals principal 200 times the rate is 0.035 times the time, 5 years. So when you're ready, someone give me that interest. 35, is that what you got? 200 times 0.035 times 5. $35, yeah. Wow, that's garbage. So I equals $35. Now remember, just because that's the interest only, how much did he actually have? Because he has $200 saved, right? So there's a little one you have to add to simple interest, and that's amount equals principal plus interest. You just have to add it to the principal. See how it's amount? The compound interest formula already has amount. It's built in, but the other one isn't. Okay. So let's add it up. Amount is principal plus interest. It's $235. So when you answer this question, in 5 years, because that's what he said, in 5 years, he's going to have $235 if he uses a simple interest account. Okay? Now let's compare it to compound. And the reason we're doing comparison, because I promise you more than not that it's going to be a comparison type of problem. Okay? We'll use a different color. Let's write our formula. A equals principal 1 plus rate to the t power. Amount is principal, 200 bucks. 1 plus the rate, it's right there, 0.035 to the t power, which is 5. Okay? So you want to go ahead and get this number first. Okay? Well, obviously you don't need a calculator for that. 200, 1.035 to the 5th power. So this is where you want to use a calculator. You can use a Google calculator if you want. I think I have one on here. Hold on. 1.035 to the 5th power. 1.035. You're going to press the button that has an XY right here. 5th power. If you turned your calculator sideways, if you have an iPhone, it's the exact same kind of layout. Equals. That's an ugly number, guys. Okay? So check this out. We got to multiply it times 200, right? So you have that big number, hit times 200. And now you're just going to focus up here on the left. 237. Just right here. That's the number you want. 237.53. Okay. $237.53. So then, obviously, 5 years is not enough with just leaving $200 there. Bad news for Sergio. Getting a PC this cheap probably ain't gonna work. But what you could do is you're answering the question, right? So now I'm gonna ask which account would give him more money after you've shown all your work. This is showing all your work. You would say the compound interest, or I'll just write it. Sergio should put his money in a compound interest account. And what I would do is I would box that answer, I would box this answer, and then like that. Most likely you'll be doing this on paper, this test, and you're gonna have to scan and upload it. Okay? So make sure you are prepared. All right? No excuses on why you can't, okay? So let's say I build on this, right? This question alone could be worth like 5 points, right? Because you had to define all the variables, you had to show all your work. Okay, let's just say. Now, the next question could be, maybe that's number 1. Number 2. What if Sergio leaves his money in the account for 10 years. So now what you're going to have to do, you're going to replace T with 10. Okay? So T equals 10. And you're going to repeat everything basically. Okay? Now, I'm not going to finish it for you, but I am going to just kind of... I know you guys can't do this, but... You're going to replace everything that had 5 years with 10 years. Replace that. Replace that. That. Okay. Obviously that. And you're going to insert the new value. You're going to insert 10 years. Whatever you get here. 10 years. 10. And then whatever you get here. Okay? Does anyone have any questions for me that I can answer based off of this?